Sorry about that. That was my daughter letting me know that she was finished eating. You know how it is working from home. Alright, so we have the next section, number 8. We expand part 1. And we would have part 1 is 2x minus 3 by 4x plus 1. And remember, I would have told you to cut this first one in half, pretend like this one doesn't exist, and then just multiply, change the color, multiply this one by this one. Let me do some color coordination. Let me not use yellow since people may not be able to see that. So I'm going to do this 2x by this entire bracket, and that will give me 2 by 4x, 2x by 4x will give me 8x squared, and then 2x by positive 1 will give me positive 2x. And then now I'm going to erase the second part, and I'm going to now do negative 3 by the entire bracket. So then that will give me minus 12x minus 3. And the two of those now together, there's only one part I can work out at the same time, and that will be these two. And that will give me 8x squared, and 2 minus 12 will give me minus 10x minus 3. So that's the answer for part 1. Part 2, we have 4x minus 2 by 4x minus 2. And I don't have enough space. Anyhow, let's work along. So then we do the same thing. I'm just going to do it a little bit quicker, but you can take all your steps. So we end up with 16x squared minus 8x minus 8x plus 4 equals to 16x squared minus 16x plus 4. All right, and then the last one, let me just blot this off, which is here. And that will give me, this is part, let me do it out here. This is part 3. So let me move this. So we have x plus y brackets 2x. Alright, that's a little too close to the top. X plus y 2x minus 3y plus 1. So then you'll get 2x squared minus, and you do the same thing with this one, right? So the first bracket with x, and you'll split that in half, multiply the second bracket entirely by x. So that's why I get 2x squared, then I'll get minus 3xy, and then I'll get plus x. And then the next one you get, actually let me rub that out. I need some more space. So you'll get, like I said, 2x squared minus 3xy minus, plus x right? So that was, let me keep all the x's at least in blue. And then, so let me just show you that with the pencil. I did all the x's in blue. And all I have to do is plus y's. I'll do those in red. So this is multiplying the entire second bracket by the plus y. And I'll get plus 2x y minus 3y squared plus y. All right, and that will give me now, put everything in blocks. We join our like terms together. We don't have any like terms for the x squares or the y squares, so I'm just going to put them on their own. And then we have minus 3xy plus 2xy. So that's going to be minus xy. And then we have plus x and then plus y. Right? So the only one I had to combine there was the minus 3xy and the plus 2xy. So that's my final answer there at the top. Just a tick here to note that's the final answer. This is the final answer here. This is the final answer here. Alright, so we can look now at number 9. Mrs. Dial borrowed. They should have a dollar sign. Mrs. Dial borrowed $43,680 from a bank for 6 months at 8% per annum. Find 1, the sum of money Mrs. Dial had to pay as simple interest. So that is RI is equal to P by R by T over 100, which is equal to 43680 by 8 by 6 over 100. That answer me at my calculator. So 43680 by 6 by 8 divided by 100. I did something wrong there. 43680 by 8 by 6 divided by 100. Oh shoot, sorry, I made a mistake. So the interest, I didn't realize it's 6 months, so 6 years. Sorry about that. So really and truthfully, I have to change this into years because the time in the simple interest form is only measured in years. So that's 6 months. I have to change to years, and that'll be 6 out of 12 years, which is equal to 0.5 years. So I have to change that now in my equation from 6 to being, I'll put it in there as 0.5. Alright, so let me write that out again. So 43,680 by 8 by 0.5 divided by 100. Alright, so our interest should be 1747.2. I'm gonna add on a 0. So $1,747.20. Alright, and that's the sum of money that she had to pay as interest. Part 2 asks the total amount of money repaid to the bank. So that will be, your total amount would be 43680 plus 111,74720 and that is equivalent to 4, 5, 4, 2, 7, 20. The total amount repaid monthly, as she paid it over 6 months, then it would just be her total divided by 6, and that would just be 7571.2 20 cents. So that would be that. Oh, and again, your final answer is given here. Number 10. Okay, 3 more questions. Mr. Jones invests $8,500 in bonds at 4.5% per annum. For anytime you see that 4.5, easiest thing to do would be to change that to be 4.5. This makes it easier. Simple interest and $6,500 in savings at 4% per annum. Calculate the total interest he receives as a percentage of his total investment. Correct to 1 decimal place. So you have to work out the interest for both. So let's do the I'll put IB for the interest on the bonds, which is 8,500 by 4.5 over 100, and that should be $382.50. And then we can have the interest now on his savings, we call that IS, which is 6,500 by 4 on 100. Which is 260. All right, so the total interest then would be, so total interest would be 382.5 plus 260 which is 642.50, and then over his total investment, and I would say that his total investment will represent the investment in bonds. Even though the other one is savings, I will still consider that to be somewhat of an investment. So, and because it said total, that signifies that you should be adding. So his total investment would be the 8,500 plus the 6,500, which is equal to 15,000, and therefore the total interest as a percentage of total investment would be equivalent to, I'll put this in a different color, it would be your interest, total interest over your total investment by 100. Which should be 4.28%. All right, so next one says calculate the compound interest when $1,200 is invested for 2 years at interest at 8% per annum if interest is paid half yearly. So we did a question like this before, but just to go over, if it's paid half yearly and is invested for 2 years, then that means you have 4 time periods, because you have to split these 2 years into half. Each of these years in the 2 years into half. So when we do our interest for time period 1, is the first 6 months, so it's going to be your 1,200 multiplied by 8 multiplied by and half yearly. That's the same 6 months over 12, which is 0.5 years. So that would be by 0.5 over 100. So 12,000 by 8 by 0.5 divided by 100 will give us 480. And then our total amount at the end of time period 1 would be 12,000 plus 480, which will be the 12,480. And then, so that's time period 1. Time period 2. So then the next one will be the interest in year 2. Will be the 12,480 by 8 by 0.5 over 100, which is the 12,480 by 8 by 0.5 divided by 100. So that's 499.2. I'll just double check that. 12,480 by 8 by 0.5. Alright, good. And then the total amount in time period 2 would be 124.80 plus 499.20. Which is 12,979.2. Time period 3. Let's multiply that. I don't think I need to keep explaining here. I think you should catch the drift by now, but I'm just working through until I get the final answer. Alright, on to the last time period, which you know is just the sum of the last two. And that is your final answer. Whew, that was long, but it's finished. Last question. The cash price of a house is 12. Oh, sorry, I forgot again. Just highlight that this is my final answer. All right, so the cash price of a house is $120,000. Mr. Thomas agreed to pay a deposit. Mr. Thomas pays a deposit of 25% of the cost, and the bank pays the remaining amount. Mr. Thomas agrees to pay the bank equal monthly installments, for 30 years. He also agrees to pay $18,000 as interest on the total amount to be repaid. Determine the following. Part 1, the amount Mr. Thomas deposited. So that's part 1. So he paid this deposit on his own without the assistance of the bank. So it would just be the 25% deposit he agreed to pay, which is your 25 over 100 multiplied by the cost of the house. And we should get $30,000. And then part 2, Mr. Thomas's monthly repayment. So the bank now, the repayments are for the amount that the bank covered, which will obviously have to exclude how much he paid on the house so far. So you have to take the cost of the house minus how much he paid, this deposit that he paid already, and you'll get $90,000. And in terms of, you have to add on the interest. So it'll be 90,000 plus 18,000, which will give you 108,000. And then now you have to take that 108,000 and you have to divide that by the amount he agreed to pay it for, which is 30 years, by how many months are in a year, because that's the monthly repayment. And that is going to be equivalent to 108,000 divided by 360, which will give you 108,000 divided by 360, which will give you $300 a month. Make sure I calculate that correctly. All right, good. So that's part 2. Part 3, we just write these zeros properly before somebody think they're 6s. All right, so the percent profit that the bank makes, the bank charged him interest of $18,000 over how much they lent him, which was $90,000. And then you gotta multiply that by 100. So that's 20%. And that is it. I hope it was clear. Let me know if you have any questions.